Welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host. Um, in a question: could NCSoft be making a public relations blunder with their recent legal threats? I put a link in the description below because there's a private server currently for City of Heroes, City of Villains. There was being held secret for an X amount of time. They announced that they were going to be pushing a live server soon in the near future. But literally, about an hour ago, there was a new post on the subreddit that was talked about having to bring the servers down. I'll be reading this. So this is by Voodoo Girl. I'm very familiar with Voodoo Girl in the past. So we'll talk about this. We have some bad news, folks. This server, as of right now, has to be shut down indefinitely. We are on a direct course for legal action. As such, steps must be taken in order to protect the people involved in this project, their families, and their. However, this project is not finished. We will continue to work towards the revival of City of Heroes with all efforts that we can make. We cannot give you a time frame at this time. We are in discussions to do what we can to revive some form of the server. However, we do not wish to commit to a point in the future that we may not be able to reach. You have trusted us to this point. We ask you to extend that trust, and we, in turn, do everything within our powers to prove to you that we are deserving of it. To everyone who has donated time, blood, sweat, and tears and logged in to prove that this game still wishes to live, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. This first step could not have been taken without you, and it is you, the most dedicated fan base in the world, excuse me, that will keep us moving forward. Just remember, we did the impossible this weekend. We will see you all in Paragon City again. City of Heroes does not die today. And backslash E hold torch. Okay, so this is also a statement from the project leader. As it stands, we are heading into legal fuckery. Yes, I'm not censoring anything. My hands are shaking as I type this up, so please bear with me. The entire project is in jeopardy, but the only feasible solution we have is for me to set up an LLC and fight with over the next few months to years, and things are going to put me into some major legal turmoil. I will have lawyers out the ass, and I will be put into personal jeopardy. This is a project I'm going to sink with. I will do everything in my power to get it done. I am praying for mercy right now. I am extremely emotional right now, and I feel 10 years I once dedicated to this game is being ripped out from under me again. I appreciate the support I've had from the community. I have to break the one promise I wanted with every fiber of my being to uphold. I'm just fucking semi truck driver. He's a truck driver. A fucking truck driver. I'm going down on this ship. This is my hill to fight on. I will fight tooth and nail to get everything we fought for back. I know it's tough asking Anonymous for support, but I'm in for a rough fucking right. I have no way to make a closing statement, so I may as well go as fucking cheesy as I can. Glory to Arachnos. Shit, in this world. Really, honestly. Um, Now, here's the situation in a nutshell. I think they had over 4,000 this weekend, like like registrations for the server in a weekend. In 2 days, 4,000 players in 2 days registered. And the problem of it is now when you scroll down this, people are furious with NCSoft. Now, this is the only reason I'm going to say that this could be the big PR blunder for NCSoft. NCSoft has to, now don't get me wrong, don't get me twist, because there's shit behind it. So, but I'm not taking their side either. What I'm trying to say is this. NCSoft has to realize they're a video game company, right? They have an IP that they're not using. They have a source code that's been leaked to so many goddamn people. It's in the net. It's net wide now. The source code. It's like net wide. You can't rip it away even if you wanted to now. It's out there permanently. So NCSoft, though, and here's the big problem, is producing new coming MMO within the next year. They're working on another project that's supposed to be launched, I think, within the next 2 years. And if they can't afford bad public relations because it stains their image within the gaming community, right? This is a problem. Like, this is the problem. It's like, you know what? You're making a decision that could rectify the future products of your company. You're making a decision. You're refusing to let players play a dead game that you pulled, right? You unhinged it. You're like, we don't want nothing to do with it. Shut it down, right? And then all of a sudden, players resurrect it, and you're like, we're going to pursue legal consequences if you continue. And threatening and being a bully now. For what? For what? Even if you win NCSoft, you lose. Because players will never let the company get rid of its smudge. You're smearing your public image. Like, this could have been a win-win for NCSoft to say, you know what, guys, you're right. We're not using it. But they could have easily have said, go ahead, have it. But, you know, we'll make an official announcement. Make an official announcement giving credit to the men and women for resurrecting the dead game and giving them your blessing. And that could have been a very good public relations image for them. Because companies spend millions on PR campaigns. But one bad thing leaves a stain. And then you just keep... It's like you're tearing your company down now. You're ripping your company apart, you know, by doing this. Could be bad. Yeah, will you still sell games? Yeah, but at what cost? Like, are you gonna, you know, do as well as you did? Probably not. Blizzard and Activision is now facing this similar problem and then you laid off 800 people within the same time of the announcement. Now your public relations, and now there's tax evasions going on, like tax havens. So they have tax havens. Activision's not even paying taxes in the United States. So the public image now is going to sink Blizzard Activision. It's going to sink them because they're being greedy and they're being inconsiderate. Public relations is a big, huge part of a company. And NCSoft, by refusing these guys their little piece of heaven by having a, you know, yeah, we won. We forced their server down. Congratulations, NCSoft. Congratulations. I'm glad you have the rights to just, you know, do that. I hope it doesn't bite you in the ass. Karma's a bitch. Karma's a bitch. And it even said down here. Now think about this too. Right here, this statement says a lot. Even Stan Lee, may he rest in peace, offered to buy the IP, and they refused. They refused to even sell it when Stan Lee was alive and wanted it. It's like, seriously, this is not going to... And you can go... I've left a link in the description. You can go... It's this one game. And it's going to bleed over in their future products till probably those people die or NCSoft unfortunately realizes they made huge mistakes. I'm not saying that NCSoft doesn't have the right to make this decision. They own the copyright, right? They own it. It's they have every legal right to protect the intellectual property. They have every legal right to do so. But by doing so and by bullying anybody who would try to revive one game that hasn't been played in 7 years, how does that reflect on your company's image? I'm going to say this to all companies moving forward. You're in an industry of consumer perspective. You're in the video gaming industry. It costs more in this industry than any other companies just in development, let alone marketing, let alone, once you get it up and running, that's one thing. But as far as developing, it takes years and millions of dollars without seeing a penny of return, a cent of return. There's ways to do it, but those are far few in between. But regardless, when you are investing that type of resources into development of a game, you want it to succeed. You need it to succeed. If something gets thrown, an obstacle gets thrown in your way, even as something as simple as a bad blemish on your personal company record, how the consumers perceive you is going to affect your bottom line. The perception of how customers see you is going to be so impacting on whether or not you can move. Could you have sold 10 million copies? Once you burn bridges as a video game company, you burn those bridges with the consumers. Doesn't matter if you try to make amends, right, in your next product. Too little, too late. Those players are now forever scarred with your company logo. Think smart. You have to think very, very smart on public perception. And I honestly think that this could be a very costly mistake. Yes, NCSoft's going to win. They'll win every day, hands down. No one can deny that, not even these guys. But I feel bad for the community. I feel bad for the player base. Like I was talking about it, I logged in, I got to play. I said, who knows what the future of this game is going to be? Because NCSoft is going to go for them. They're just going to shut it down. But at what cost to them? Sure, you've succeeded in taking thousands of players around the world and ripping their hearts out and smashing it and, win-win. We win. They don't get that game. That game is dead. Congratulations. I'm glad. I'm so happy for you. And I'm not trying to, like I said, I have respect for NCSoft. Personally, I have respect for NCSoft. They've treated me very well throughout the years. Very well. So I have no animosity towards the company. But at the same time, I'm going to be real, and I'm going to say that this could be very bad. We'll see. We'll see. I've always to the admins and to the project leaders that made this weekend happen. You took me down memory lane. I want to thank you personally. It was great just to be able to play a game that I haven't experienced. And I actually got to group up after my stream with a couple people. So it was tremendous. And I enjoyed it. And, I hope that there's, if there's a glimmer of light, excuse me, that something lets these people enjoy that product in the near future. But once again, a ball is in NCSoft's court, So what are you going to do, guys? That becomes the question. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Mystic Raven. This is Mystics MMOs. As always, thank you guys. Have a nice day.